guys, Ben here. Welcome back to another World of Tanks PlayStation 4 gameplay video. Today we are still grinding our way up to the E100. We have got Rupert Assman driving our tank to glory, and we are currently driving the VK36H. It's the Tier 6 German heavy, and it is definitely my favourite vehicle so far on this line. So this is the one you get before the Tiger. It's the first heavy tank on the line, and I think it's an absolute beast. And I think maybe part of that is due to the fact that the PS4 player base is a bit more inexperienced at the moment than Xbox. So it's not quite as competitive, but this tank has been absolute beast. I mean, admittedly, it's probably seal clubbing a little bit down at Tier 6, but I found it so easy to use this tank, so easy. So what I've done here, I've gone straight to this corner. I've decided this would be a good spot to have a bit of fun with my armor. I can angle on this corner and hopefully sit here, eat a few shots, and do a nice bit of damage. People driving out very crazily sideways take a big hit there. I think that was from their artillery, but I am bouncing quite a lot of shots. So it's a pretty bold move, but I've had a lot of confidence. There's another hit from the RT. Doesn't do any damage that time, I don't think. So it is actually a Bertie firing me, the FE304, the British Tier 6 I think it is. Dirty birdie. There we go, pop out and grab a kill, or grab a bit more damage. But, so, the reason I'm being very, very bold and possibly brash, you might think, driving out like that, is because this tank has just been, this was on a session of games I had where I played for 3 or 4 hours, and I think I ground most of the way from the top unlock all the way to the Tiger. I've got about 10k left to get to the Tiger. I've got about 30k XP in a very short amount of time. Just because every game was just like this, really. It was just brutal, just tons of damage. I've already got 17 ribbons. We're only 2 minutes into the game. I know there was a fire there, but still. And it's really just felt so easy, this tank. I just don't use the top gun. The top gun on this has high damage, but it has much lower pen. Nice little shot into the top of the M3D there. And an M6 appears, who I can try and hit as well. Yeah, so the top gun, it has high damage, but the pen is a lot less. I think it's 30 or 40 less pen. I much prefer using this gun, which is the second top gun that you unlock on this tank. It has the highest pen of all the guns, and it is an absolute beast, because you can just sit here. Basically, for this tank, all I do, drive towards the enemy, angle myself like this, and then just shoot them, and they'll just bounce all day long. Sometimes people will know what to do and manage to pen you, but so much on PlayStation 4 I found I can just do this, and just it can side scrape really well, but also it can just do what it's doing now, which is pretty much just sitting in the open, slightly angled, and just firing relentless these guys. And you can see the amount of shots these people are bouncing on me or going into my tracks. And you can also see this turns into a bit of a vengeance game against this artillery, because he has been hitting me a lot. He's been going for me the entire game pretty much. Shots raining down around me. I'm trying to keep myself tight to this hill as I can, just to minimize, make it as difficult as I can for him to hit me. But I also want to be poking out because I want to be doing damage. So, and there we go, ping another volley of shots. So they've got a VK36H here. He has gone around the back of that rock and got himself in a very silly position for me to just happily eat away at his health points. And one of the I find, see, that's the gun arc of the British artillery there, just smashing me even behind this big rock. Very annoying. And I'm now down to 143 health. Pretty much all of that has been from that RT. It's a tiny little Electo we can go for. There's not many of the red team left, and we've done pretty well, so we'll see how we get on. But yeah, one of the things you'd think could be a big threat to this tank at Tier 6 is other VK or our other VK36Hs, but due to I think a lot of it's due to, well, maybe players not knowing how to play the tank, but also players being a little bit ignorant of really looking at what guns you get, and so people probably instinctively take the top gun, or either they've got the bottom gun and they're firing like a derp gun with AP at you, so they're bouncing and doing nothing, or they're firing. Or they're using the top gun and they've got much less pen than you, so if you're angled they're going to bounce off while you're just going through because you've got the higher pen. So it cleans up very well even against other VK36Hs. You can see now we have finally cracked the valley. We've pushed through 143 health, and we are chasing down this RT. I want to get some vengeance on that Bertie. He's pretty much done all of the damage to me. He's still firing me. Trying to get the selector out of the game, who's rather brashly sitting there. I think he's just trying to get a bit of damage before he dies. Another dodge shot against the Bertie. And just trying to keep myself facing towards him, angled at the moment, because even against artillery it is worth angling yourself. Obviously if they hit you in the back or the side, they've got a much better chance of doing more damage to you, of penning you, or just doing a greater chunk of damage. But I managed to drive off to the side a bit there because I knew he might try the blind shot, and he did. He missed me, didn't know where I was. And now we can move in. This Bert is the only guy left on the red team, which we have absolutely smashed. 14-4 on the scoreboards. There he is. First time in the game he's not actually looking at me. He seems to have found someone else to shoot at. So there he goes. Don't manage to get the kill, but we do manage to shoot him, which is very, very satisfying. So there we go, 28 damage ribbons, 2 kills, and quite a nice amount of spotting as well. And it's one of the things you can get when you're in a good armoured tank that can sit on the front line, and that is a good amount of spotting, especially with a rate of fire like that, because I can track people a lot and I'm also at the front to do the actual spotting. So there we go, we've got a steel wall, we've got a Confederate medal, we've got first class mastery, so not bad, just off the old 99% gold one, and a cool headed medal as well. 2,300 damage, 1,600 base XP, couple of kills, and 2.5k blocks, which is very respectable for a tank with that sort of hit pool. So there you go, that's battle 1. I'm going to bring you 2 battles today because that's a very short one. I've got 2 lovely VK36H battles to bring you, so let's jump on to round number 2. So here we go, this time we are on Tundra, and we have some very nice matchmaking again. We are top tier, there's quite a lot of 5s, a few 6s, it's looking pretty tasty. I found the matchmaking generally has seemed pretty good for this tank. I don't know if it's just maybe a bit of a higher population on PS4 around these tiers at the moment, so it's a little bit more balanced, but I found very rarely I've been in those bottom tier games. I have had a few fairly decent bottom tier games. Obviously it doesn't excel too much against tier 8s. They can do some pretty serious damage to you, but it does do well. And the reason one of the reasons I want to show you this game is just to show, I remember having a little cheeky shot on the SU-85 there. Remember when this map first came out, I did a bit of a tour with it with Jack the Ripper on I think a training room, and we flew around, I think Mobius as well, Mobius Y, and we did a bit of a tour of a couple of maps, and they gave some pointers on them. I remember Jack saying this hill is really OP and really important to take, and so I just go there every time now, and it really is. And PS4 apparently haven't got that memo yet, because not many people really have come over here, so I've just dived up here straight away. I've got one person with me, which is nice, because the enemies can come round behind me just down there, as you probably know. But the reason it's OP is because you can drive up here and just have an astounding view of the enemy team. It is ridiculous. If you haven't been up here, I recommend it, because the red team, the team from that spawn tends to drive up the middle quite a lot, and then you drive up here and you just have these side shots on just so much of the enemy team. You can still hear him, you can sit here chipping away at this guy nicely. He doesn't know what to do. He's bounced a couple of shots, missed shots, now he's trying to run away, and he's just got nowhere to run to. And that is one guy down, 0 health lost. So here's another guy nicely showing me his butt, and we set him on fire again. Those lovely German tanks love being set on fire. Just shuffles out of the way before I get the kill. That's almost 2 full health tanks we have taken down without taking any damage yet. That guy's not that well hidden, so hopefully we can track him down later. You can see there's still tanks popping up sideways. Not even all the enemy team seems to have realised I'm up here, and they're fighting on 3 fronts now. Really, you can see we've got a nice little U shape going on around their flag. We've got guys right over on the 1 line. We've got 4 of us up on this hill now, and a few guys in the middle. The red team do not know what to do. And there's a KV-1 showing his butt to me, which we kind of stupidly bounced. I should have aimed that shot in the first time, but there you go. Can't do everything perfectly. And now I'm just trying to track him, because if you see a tank in a great place to kill with their weak armor to you, it's definitely worth tracking their place rather than giving them the opportunity to turn around and face you and get their good armor on you. So there we go, we get another kill. Nice bit of damage on that KV-1, and we've still taken fairly minimal damage ourselves. So the AT2 here is shooting at me. I'm not too concerned about him hurting me, but I'm not going to worry too much about engaging him from this distance. It's going to be tricky for me to hit his weak spots, and his damage isn't really going to worry me too much. So I'm going to see what else is going on. See what else is left to mop up. So he's looking a little sideways now, so I'm trying to get in a tracking shot. And this guy is out of view. So it's looking like we've mopped up most of what we can see from here. Oh, no, we got one more guy. There he is. You see that aim time is really nice on this gun as well. Very nice gun. There we go. We're down to 4 enemy tanks. And it's been a pretty landslide victory. This has certainly been one of the easiest grinds I think I've done on WoT Tanks. I found even with the base gun, the stock gun was, I mean, it's not great, but you can kind of get by. You make sure you use HE or prem rounds if you're feeling filthy, but HE did fine for me. Won't take you too long with a few daily doubles and ops to get up to the next gun. And then once you get up to this gun, you're just going to clean up. Just make sure you keep yourself angled, be aware of what's firing at you and which way your tank's pointing. And just sit there and shoot them, and it's just relentless. It's just crazy. So it's a good sign for me. I'm not hugely experienced with tanks like this. On Xbox I kind of played heavy wise. I mostly did the American line, so it's a very, very different style of play. Very good armor when you're in a hold down position. Very strong frontal turret armor, but not really much in the way of frontal hull armor and side armor. So you couldn't sit out in the open angle like that in like a T29. Or a T32, you just get wrecked because people pen your lower plate or even your upper plate very, very reliably. Whereas something like this or the Tiger 2, it's much more of a kind of steel block that you just sort of angle and fire away. And obviously some situations people are going to be able to pen you, but it's nice having that tank that's really built for the side scraping, angling, that kind of thing. There we go, we won that very comfortably. 2,000 damage. High caliber medal, 1200 base XP, a bit less than the last one, but still a nice game. But just wanted to show you just how good that position can be on Tundra, and I would heartily recommend checking it out yourself. Nice one. Alright, well, thanks for watching, everyone. Feel free to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to help us out. We really appreciate that, and we also appreciate the time that you spend listening to me waffle on about tanks. Nice one. Alright, well, thank you for watching. My name's Ben, we are the Big Guys, and I'll see you next time.